and welcome to the Artist Behind the Music. Today I have a fellow Albertan, Ashley Ghostkeeper. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Crystal, for having me.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to meet you. It's always nice to chat with people from the home province. It's cool on the show. I get to chat with people all over the world, and there's just so much great talent in our province. So it's always great to showcase some
It's been such
local.
a COVID online world this last year, so this is just like kind of normal. So
I know, right? It's
yeah,
crazy. This is how we do things now. We meet
for
people
sure.
online, develop relationships online, write online, perform online, talk online. It's a Zoom kind of world. So
Yeah,
awesome. Well, let's chat a little bit about who you are, your story, your musical journey, and what's got you to where you are today.
yeah. So I'm Ashley Ghostkeeper. I'm now located in Calgary, but my family kind of comes from northern Alberta, so that's kind of where my roots are from, Paddle Prairie Métis settlement.
Hey.
And we grew up basically music was just all around us. It was like ingrained in us as we were like young kids. So now it's especially during this whole year, I've been able to record music for the first time and finally like let it out, and it's been a really cool experience. So
Well, that's awesome. What kind of musical influences have been your biggest inspiration in your life so far, in your musical journey?
uh, biggest musical influences, like I'd say probably my grandpa, teaching me those first chords on guitar, and like he plays a lot of Elvis tunes, so like he was always that influence to me. um Maybe speaking otherwise, I would have to say like Miranda Lambert, like Faith Hill, artists like that. Really like that early 2000s country is like what I grew up on. And I just, I'm always so inspired by their music and their writing styles. And yeah.
Yeah, I love that too. All of that is gems of music, gems of music.
No, totally.
So good. Did you find it easy and natural to become a performer? Was it something that you struggled with, or was it just seamless? How was your journey into stepping on the stage?
I would say definitely the performing side is a practice and you just only get better at it. But I think I started singing before I could even speak words, and I would always just sing in front of everyone. So I think I was definitely like kind of born with it in that sense, that I just like the music was just everything about me right from when I was about like 4 or 5 years old even. Like
That's awesome. So do you remember
yeah.
being young like that and singing and dancing around?
Oh yes, and there's lots of home videos to look at and pictures, and yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's fun to look back and to see how it's like a natural thing that's within you that you just have no other option but to be expressive in the artistic world, which is,
Totally, yeah.
yeah, music is such a cool outlet for expression and connection. Let's talk a little bit about songwriting. What is your songwriting style? Do you enjoy the writing process? How do you like to collaborate? What does songwriting look like for you?
Songwriting for me, I mean, I started writing little songs when I was pretty young, but it really stemmed from my poetry writing. I would write my poems and then like transform those into songs, and I still do that to this day. Like a lot of my poetry comes into my song lyrics. Um, I songwrite with my family a lot.
Nice.
And I'm just starting to kind of collab with other artists. So that's kind of a new venture that I'm kind of tapping into. But definitely is my poetry writing. And then from there, I'd also write like motivational quotes when I was really young. So is the writing thing has always been um, like a very important part for me in the music. So
Yeah, that's awesome that you were writing poetry to lead you into the songwriting style because really
mhm.
songs are just small poems and
Exactly. Yeah,
music,
totally.
which is great. I remember writing poems in school. We'd have like books that we'd have to make and write all the different styles, and I just found a box of old childhood stuff, and there was all sorts of old poetry in there. So it's always fun to look back on those.
Beautiful. Aw.
So fun, so fun.
Mhm.
Let's talk a little bit about your song that you released this year. How did you feel releasing a song in these weird times? As we're saying, everything's online on Zoom. What was that process
Yeah.
for you?
We managed to record and get it done during COVID. It definitely took a bit longer, like just COVID restrictions and whatnot kept getting in our way, but we finally released it this summer. But I think everything happens for a reason. Timing just works out the way it should, and I'm happy with how it kind of turned out. I think it's been out now for just about a month, so yeah, it feels like I released it yesterday still, but
I know it's crazy. I feel like we're in a time warp and time just slips away right now. And it's like with the
yeah,
blink of an eye, 6 months has gone by and you're like,
yeah, I know, it's wild.
a wild, wild ride. What would you say
Mhm.
over the past, year and a half, some takeaways that you've experienced from just this pivot and this shift in lifestyle and ways of doing music and all those things? Do you feel like you've learned any lessons or brought anything positive from this crazy, crazy world?
I think there was definitely a lot of positives. Kind of silver lining is, I think, the way that people have been describing to quiet yourself. You're not going out to public places or public events with crowds of people. You're now sitting at home and you're learning about yourself. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. I did a lot of that. I also, like, I work in healthcare. So just going to work and then coming home, like really just kind of grounding myself. And it was music that really helped with that.
Hmm.
Um, and just like the songwriting and all that stuff too. But I think this year there's definitely that silver lining that I think many had,
Yeah.
even though tough it was at times. But
Oh, for sure. I mean, no, it wasn't an easy, it has not been an easy year, or easy time right now, even it's still challenging. But I
Mhm.
think when we do focus on the silver linings, it allows the chaos around us to maybe quiet a little bit more. And when we can talk about, the gratitude and the good things that we've taken and experienced, it just makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, totally. It kind of makes you realize what really matters. Your family, like the time you get to spend with them in person, like that's what really matters. And that was taken away from many people this year. So it kind of opens up your mind to, you know what, you got to be grateful for every little thing in your life, you know. And now that we're having live music back, like everyone's just loving the live music this summer because we had it taken away for about, a year, over a year. So
Yeah, it's a
um
different appreciation. I remember the first time I got back on stage just to hear that sound of clapping. It was just I
yes.
started crying because I just didn't even know how to
Oh.
feel the feels because it was just something you're used to seeing, like the little hearts on Facebook or the thumbs up.
On Facebook Live. Yeah, no kidding. I like, even when I recorded in studio, we did live off the floor, like following like all the restrictions, that everything. But that was like the first time I heard live music. Was, well, I was singing with the band, and I was just like, wow, like this is, like, we took this for granted, like totally, right? Like, so
Isn't that funny how, yeah, what you just said, we took it for granted. When we have things in life every day, it's just normal and we just expect them to be there. And when it's gone, we realize how much, we need certain things or how
yeah.
lucky we are to have certain things in life. And I think just that word gratitude is speaking very, very loudly right now. And I think it's so
Mm-hmm.
important that we focus in on those feelings of gratitude. So
Yes,
yeah.
definitely.
What kind of plans and things do you have coming up next?
So we still have 3 more songs left on the EP that we'll be releasing kind of one at a time. So definitely one's going to be released by fall time, which I'm excited about. And then we're also working on getting a music video for one. And that's kind of the plans for now. And then just keep performing, keep doing music, keep songwriting. That's kind of where I'm headed. So
That's awesome. Do you have any tools or tricks that you like to implement to help keep you calm and keep you, taking care of yourself and wellness, all those good things? Do you have any secret weapons, secret tools that you like to use?
secret weapons. I think this year taught me especially to really like dive back into like my family's culture, and that's what truly seems to ground me, learning like our way of life and just being out in like mother nature a lot this year has really helped me with my writing. And during all of the kind of chaos of like releasing, you know how it is releasing a song, it gets very busy. So it's like being out in nature just totally grounds me. And it's just looking at the little things. And um yeah, so that's kind of like my secret weapon I use for myself.
That's perfect.
um
I love that.
yeah.
There's something so calming about being outdoors. I find, you can get stuck sitting in front of a computer or in your house, just working or doing the things. And then when you step outside, it's like that all of that stops and you can come back to your center and your truth. And I think
Yeah.
it's just a really cool thing.
Life is really simple, and I think being out in nature just tells us that it's simple. Be present and just live while you're living, really. And yeah, that's been a big thing for me this year. So
I like that. Life is simple. And I think we all just overcomplicate it and all the crazy things.
yeah, I know we complicate it. I think there's a saying, you know, um, like an animal is not going to go to bed being ashamed of themselves. And us as humans, like we said, like we overcompliment, we overthink things when, life is what it is, and you just got to let it be. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Hmm.
Animals don't go to bed ashamed of themselves.
No.
Or see. I love that. I love that because I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with is at the end of the day, oh, why did I say that? I shouldn't have done this, or I shouldn't have said that, or I didn't do
Mhm.
this well enough, or I didn't do enough, instead of just, okay, it's time for bed. You know?
Exactly. And the title track to my EP, it's called Future Me, and it's actually that's from a poem I wrote a few years ago. And the poem basically is just really letting go of the past, being at peace with it, and just working on right here, right now, and what can better myself for tomorrow, like the future me. So that's been like an anthem for me this year, in a sense. Sometimes I do have to look back at my writing to remind myself of things, but that's why I'm really excited to release this EP. All the songs are written by me. I didn't do any collabs on it. I just feel as like my first like debut EP, if it's coming from my words, kind of showing people like who I am and like what I'm about first. And yeah, so
I love that. I think that's a really cool way to express yourself through music and
mhm.
a really great way to allow people to kind of see behind, you know, the
Yeah,
physical stuff.
behind everything
Behind the
else.
curtain. Yeah. I love that. I think music is so great to allow us to express ourselves in so many different ways, and for you to use this as a way to share who you are, I think is really, really important.
Mhm. Yeah.
On that note, I would love to hear a song if you are ready to play.
Sure. I'll do the song I just released then. It's but I'm gonna play it the way I wrote it, so it's a bit different than the recording. So it's kind of
Isn't that cool how we can have songs and write them a certain way, and then when you bring it into the studio, things can kind of shift and change and morph into something.
yeah, they amp it up a bit, or yeah, so it's quite similar, but it's definitely slowed down a bit. But this song, like it's called Try Me One More Time, and when I wrote it, it was me saying to life to try me one more time, because at the time just seemed, when everything goes wrong, it's like little thing after one another, like that's what was seeming like to happen in my life at the time. So I was just like, no, I have enough of this, and I wrote the song, and it was just kind of like my strength and courage, just keep going. And yeah, so
Awesome. I love that message. That's perfect.
yeah. I get down, I'm falling down, I look around to see if anyone notices who's at my door. Is it shame from yesterday? day? Or is it the pain of seeing your face? Trust me, I get try me one more time, see if I blink, and I'll always win this fight. You keep trying to break me, but you cannot take me tonight. Try me one more time. I get up, I'm climbing up, I'm reaching for trust, but nobody's there. Who's by my side? Is that friend that I love? Or is it the one from up? Trust me, I'm getting up. Try me one more time, see if I blink, and I'll always win this fight. You keep trying to break me, but you cannot take me tonight. Try me one more time. Try me one more time. Yeah. Try me one more time. See if I blink, and I'll always win this fight. You keep trying to break me, but you cannot take me tonight. Try me one more time. Try me one more time.
Woohoo! Great song. I love that song. I love the message behind it. It's like, you know, we can keep getting hit, we can keep getting knocked down, but you're like, try me again. I got this.
Try again.
I'm here. I haven't fallen yet. So
yeah,
I love the message. You've got a great country tone in your vocals. So it's beautiful. Just all around love.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Well, thank you, Ashley, so much for being on the show. I always like to wrap it up with the question, if you have one message to share with the world, what would that be?
Do what you love and love what you do, because life's too short, it's too precious to not do otherwise.
Yeah, I like that. Beautiful. Love it all. Well, girl, it's been so great to have you here, and I look forward to seeing you around, hopefully in real life at some point here soon.
I can't wait.
Yeah, me too. Until then, I can't wait to just hear your music online and keep watching what you're up to. Thanks again.